Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to our Tafseer class. We are doing the kitab known as Al-Jami'u li Ahkam al-Quran of Imam Al-Qurtubi rahimahullah. And tonight, inshallah ta'ala, we are starting a new surah. Last week we had completed Surah Al-Mutaffifin, and tonight we're starting Surah Al-Inshiqaq. So without delay, let us begin. Bismillah walhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. So this is Surah Al-Inshiqaq, مكية في قول الجميع, وهي 25 آية. Surah Al-Inshiqaq, Inshiqaq means the splitting, but obviously you'll understand what it is from the surah itself and the tafsir that follows. So it is a Makki surah في قول الجميع. In other words, all the Mufassirin are in agreement that this surah was revealed in Makkah. And it contains 25 ayat. It consists at least of 25 ayat. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قوله تعالى: إذا السماء انشقت وأذنت لربها وحقت وإذا الأرض مدت وألقت ما فيها وتخلت وأذنت لربها وحقت. That's the first 5 ayat of the surah, and that's where we begin tonight's tafsir. So as is the norm, the norm we would normally do a verbatim type translation, but especially where Amma Para is concerned, verbatim translations don't quite do justice. But anyhow, let's see how it goes. إذا السماء انشقت, when the sky has split asunder, split open. وأذنت لربها وحقت. أذنت, is like to it means like from the word even, you would say, but in this context it means to listen and respond. So وَأَذِنَتْ لِرَبِّهَا وَحُقَّتْ, and it responded to its Lord. And وَحُقَّتْ وَحَقٌّ عَلَيْهَا أَن تَسْمَعْ, for example. And the sky split open, and it had responded to its Lord, and it was obligated, and it was its duty to split open. That's how the translation of وَأَذِنَتْ لِرَبِّهَا وَحُقَّتْ. Small words like this in Arabic, deep when you put it into English, because English is so unable to capture the depth of the ayat. Then Allah goes on, وَإِذَا الْأَرْضُ مُدَّتْ, and when the earth has been extended, expanded. Madda yamuddu means like to pull, elongated, stretched out. So the whole earth has been spread out like that. And then وَأَلْقَتْ مَا فِيهَا وَتَخَلَّتْ, and this earth, it has cast out whatever was in it. In other words, the entire earth has been turned into a flat paper, as you would say. So everything that was inside the earth was pushed out, popped out like that. There it's gone. وَتَخَلَّتْ, and it's cleared out. Everything that was within the earth, in the belly of the earth, was now thrown out onto the top of the earth. So it cast out everything that was within it. And then وَأَذِنَتْ لِرَبِّهَا وَحُقَّتْ, and Allah repeats that ayah. So in the first ayah, first time Allah says وَأَذِنَتْ لِرَبِّهَا وَحُقَّتْ, Allah speaking about the sky. The second time, وَأَذِنَتْ لِرَبِّهَا وَحُقَّتْ, Allah speaking about the earth. So the sky had responded to Allah, and it was obligated to do so. And now Allah says, and the earth responded to its Lord, and it was obligated to do so. So in both these cases, it's the second ayah at least which is the same. Okay. Okay, moving on. He says قوله تعالى: إذا السماء انشقت أي انصرعت وتفطرت بالغمام والغمام مثل السحاب الأبيض. So it starts, he says قوله تعالى, Allah says إذا السماء انشقت, when the sky is split. انشق, so now he uses other words which are also synonyms. انصرعت also means to split, to وتفطرت, cracked open. وتفطرت بالغمام, it had, it's like when something let's put it this way, you have a potato, you just took him out, maybe you were roasting him over the coals, or maybe it's a roast potato in the oven, and you break him open and the steam comes out. Except here, it's not steam coming out, the sky will split open. I don't know why I'm giving explanations in food, but nonetheless, the sky will split open with smoke. So he says, وَتَفَطَّرَتْ بِالْغَمَامِ. It will split open with smoke. وَالْغَمَامُ مِثْلُ السَّحَابِ الْأَبْيَضِ. Like not exactly smoke, it's like a steam. Well, it is similar to white clouds. So like I say, you can call it steam, because in reality, when you see mist and steam, it looks like white clouds. So the sky will split open in this manner. وكذا روى أبو صالح عن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما. This is also mentioned by Imam Abu Salih from Hazrat Abdullah ibn Abbas رضي الله عنهما. وروى عن علي عليه السلام, and it's reported from Hazrat Ali رضي الله عنه. Now you see عليه السلام mentioned here, and we have no problem as Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah to say عليه السلام for any of the Sahaba رضي الله عنهم, except we do not do so on account of the way of the Shia to use alayhi salam only for the Ahlul Bayt. But you will find, for example, Imam Shafi'i, Imam Ahmad say Hazrat Abu Bakr alayhi salam, Hazrat Umar alayhi salam. You'll find this in the books of Hadith, but because of how it has been abused by the Shia, and you find amongst certain people who have Shia inclinations, they'll only say alayhi salam for Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu, and maybe Hazrat Fatima radiallahu anha, maybe Hazrat Hussein radiallahu anhu, they'll say alayhi salam in those cases, but never for anybody else. But like I say, you can find Imam al-Daraqutni, Imam al-Shafi'i, and other A'imma, and you'll find them saying alayhi salam for other Sahaba, specifically Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, and specifically Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu, amongst others, because the term simply just is used in that manner. And there was no evil attached to it. There's nothing wrong from a Shari'i perspective with it. But because a person should not associate yourself with the beliefs, and people start, if tomorrow you go along and you start saying, alayhi salam, Hazrat Ali alayhi salam, say it, and immediately people will say you're a Shia. That's how commonplace it has become. Hence why even in a case like this here, somewhat of an explanation has to be given so that people don't get the wrong idea and think, oh, what Imam Al-Qurtubi having Shia inclinations. Not at all, never in the least. But any case, so Hadra Ali radiallahu anhu, it's reported from him who said, تشق من المجرة وقال المجرة باب السماء وهذا من أشراط الساعة وعلاماتها. Okay, now Hadra Ali radiallahu anhu, he said that tushaqu min al-majarrah, the sky will split from al-majarrah. What is majarrah? He says al-majarrah to babu sama. Majarrah is the door of the sky. You know, the sky which is above our head, you know, there are 7 skies. So the sky the sky that we see, the door of that sky, from there it will split open. And this is from the signs of the hour. من أشراط الساعة or علامة الساعة, both of it are translated into English as signs of the final hour. Moving on, it says وأذنت لربها وحقت, أي سمعت وحق لها أن تسمع. Meaning وأذنت أي وسمعت لربها, if you were to translate it that way, and it listened, it responded to its Lord, وحق لها أن تسمع, and it was a haqq. When something is a haqq of Allah upon you, in other words, you are obligated. So it is the right of the sky that it should listen. You can say it that way, you can say, and it is it was obligated that the sky listen. Whichever way you want to do it, that's your choice of translation. But the sky listened, and it was its duty that it should listen to Allah. روي معناه عن ابن عباس ومجاهد وغيرهما رضي الله عنهما ورحمه الله. He says this is mentioned from Abdullah ibn Abbas رضي الله عنهما, from Imam Mujahid, and from others as well. ومنه قوله صلى الله عليه وسلم ما أذن الله لشيء كأذنه لنبي يتغنى بالقرآن. So here أذن وَأَذِنَتْ, same word which is being used. He says, showing from a hadith perspective, مَا أَذِنَ اللَّهُ لِشَيْءٍ, that Allah does not listen, not give permission, but Allah does not listen to anything. كَأَذَنِهِ لِنَبِيٍّ, like how Allah listens to the Nabi, meaning to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, يَتَغَنَّ بِالْقُرْآنِ, reciting the Quran in a beautiful voice, a melodious voice. يتغنى, من لم يتغنى بالقرآن فليس منا. Same word تغنى over here. It doesn't mean sing the Quran like from the word تغني. Some people think you must have. Some people think that the point of the Quran is to sing it. So tajweed laws are out the window as long as you are singing it in a nice manner, and people can uh, apply all sort of effects. You can be an Umar Isham al-Arabi. People like that sort of recitations, even though he oversteps all of the marks, what impermissibility over there. But you get those type of people and they think that's what it is. So يتغنى بالقرآن means reading the Quran, beautifying your voice, but primarily making certain that all of the laws of tajweed are being implemented in its 100% full form. أي ما استمع الله لشيء, meaning ما أذن الله لشيء, meaning Allah does not listen to anything. Like how Allah listens to the Nabi of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam reciting the Quran in a beautiful voice. قال شاعر صم إذا سمعوا خيرا ذكرت به وإن ذكرت بسوء عندهم آذنوا. So he's showing that word قل قل أذن خير لكم ويقولون هو أذن. You find this in the Quran, the munafiqeen and the kuffar and those type of people, and they said that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it's like udhunya means that he listens to everything, and then Allah says, "Qul udhunu khayrin lakum." But in any case, that's tafsir from another point in time. It's just showing that this word here is used for listening. So he says, "Summun idha sami'u khayran dhukirtu bihi." It's a straightforward poem. He says, he's deaf. They are deaf when they hear goodness mentioned about me. وَإِذَا ذُكِرْتُ بِسُوءٍ, but if I mentioned with some badness, عِنْدَهُمْ أَذِنُوا, if some bad about me is mentioned by them, then they all are to listen. We see this all the time. If people don't like you, they're quick to listen to everything bad about you. And when anything good about you is mentioned, it's like, what way? I don't know. Let me move on. What was that? Is that the barking of a dog? That sort of thing. Any case, he say, أي سمعوا وقال قعنب ابن أم الصاحب إن يأذنوا ريبة طاروا بها فرحا وما هم أذنوا من صالح دفنوا. This is also actually a famous poem as well. Yeah, specifically this part, وَمَا هُمُ أَذِنُوا مِنْ صَالِحٍ دَفَنُوا, that when they don't listen if they hear anything good. In other words, if they even hear something good, they bury it. It's like, don't let people come to know that you do something good also, that sort of thing. But anyhow, وقيل المعنى وحقق الله عليها الاستماع لأمره بالانشقاق. Another opinion over here is the meaning of this ayah is وحقق الله عليها, and Allah had established a law upon it, meaning Allah had obligated it. Al-istima', that it should listen to the command of Allah to split. وقال الضحاك حقت أطاعت وحق لها أن تطيع ربها لأنه خلقها. Imam al-Dhahhak rahimahullah, he translates حقت, he says حقت means أطاعت, and وأذنت لربها وحقت, and it listened to its Lord and it obeyed. So وحقت he translates as وأطاعت, and it obeyed. He says وحق لها أن تطيع ربها, and it is an obligation upon it that it should obey its Lord. لأنه خلقها, because Allah had created it. يقال فلان محقوق بكذا. It is said in Arabic that so and so is محقوق, that he is obligated to do such and such a thing. وطاعة السماء بمعنى أنها لا تمتنع مما أراد الله بها ولا يعبد خلق الحياء فيها حتى تطيع وتجيب. ولا يبعد خلق الحياة فيها حتى تطيع وتجيب. وقال قتادة حق لها أن تفعل ذلك. Okay. Okay, so moving on, the different versions over here. What is the ta'atu sama, the obedience of the sky? He says, meaning that it does not prevent that which Allah has intended for it. And it is not far-fetched, the creation of life in the sky, so much so that the sky can obey and respond. And, this is a point seemingly small, yet something which is generally people don't think about. People think the sky is the sky, and Jannah is a place, and Jahannam is a place, and things of this sort. Yet the reality is that Jannah is a living being, and Jahannam is a living being, and the sky is alive, and things of the sort. And we don't often think along those lines. So yeah, Imam Al-Qurtubi rahimahullah, he says, it's not something far-fetched that Allah had created life in the sky. We may not know it. That does not change the fact that the sky is alive. Like Jahannam is alive. And at one point in time when I was giving a description of Jahannam, as is mentioned in the various ahadith, that Jahannam has a neck. Jahannam has eyes. Jahannam has a mouth. Jahannam speaks. Jahannam moves. All these type of things. So it's not just, okay, let's start up the braai over there, put them on skewers and turn them into shish kebabs over there. That's not what Jahannam is. Jahannam literally is alive because this is what the Sharia says, and we accept it. And Jannah is alive, and we accept it. And likewise, if Allah says that the earth is alive and that the sky is alive, then we say the earth is alive and the sky is alive, even if we cannot understand it. People, the kuffar will say, yes, the earth is alive, hence why things grow there and things, so they understand life in that context. How is the sky alive? Allahu A'lam. If we are unable to understand it, it does not change the fact that it is alive, because Allah had said it will respond. Imam Qatada rahimahullah, he said, حُقَّ لَهَا أَن تَفْعَلَ ذَلِكَ. It is a right upon it that it obeys and does that which Allah has commanded it with. وَمِنُ قَوْلُكَ كَثِيرٌ فَإِن تَكُنِ الْعُتْبَى فَأَهْلًا وَمَرْحَبًا وَحُقَّتْ لَهَا الْعُتْبَى لَدَيْنَا وَقَلَّتِي. Okay, moving on, we've established that point. He says, قُولُوا تَعَالَى وَإِذَا الْأَرْضُ مُدَّتْ أي بُسِطَتْ وَدُكَّتْ جِبَالُهَا. And when the earth is now expanded and spread out, he says busitat, like a bisat, that it is flattened. Bisat is like the floor, like a carpet, like your dastarkhan, like your tablecloth you got over there, like that spread out. Wadukkat jibaluha, and the mountains are flattened. The mountains are flattened. Or there's no such thing as a hill or a mountain or a valley. Everything is just one straight flat piece of land. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم تمد مد الأديم لأن الأديم إذا مد زال كل انثناء فيه وامتد واستوى. Okay, so he says okay, he said Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that the earth will be tumaddu maddal adim, that the earth will be spread out like this. He says like an adim. And okay, he says that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that the earth will be spread out maddal adim. And he says because adim, when it is spread out, zala kullu inthina in fihi, every inthina, like every bump and hollow groove, everything of it, all of this goes away. Wamtadda wastawa, and it comes out straight. What is adim? Adim refers to a piece of leather. Specifically, if we're talking here now like an animal skin, if you are turning your a cow, Mary's little lamb type cow. So you've had your cow, you've slaughtered him, you've taken his skin, now you've tanned it so that you can turn it into some cow hide over there and things of the sort. So now you're going, when you if you're cleaning it, you're not going to be leaving fat lumps and bumps and stuff like this. You clean it, you spread it, and when you spread it, all the lumps and stuff like that disappear from it. So he says that is what is it will be spread out like that, which, like I say, if you take a skin and you pull it stiff, then that's how people had shoes and hoofs and clothing and tents, and everything was made out of leather. So like leather is spread like that, he says that's how it's being referred to. قال ابن عباس وابن مسعود رضي الله عنهم: ويزاد في ساعة هكذا وكذا لوقوف الخلائق عليها للحساب حتى لا يكون لأحد من البشر إلا موضع قدمه لكثرة الخلائق فيها. وقد مضى في سورة إبراهيم أن الأرض تبدل بأرض أخرى وهي الساهرة في قول ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما على ما تقدم عنه. Okay, so he says, Hazrat Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu and Hazrat Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma, they said that the earth will be expanded, but how much? وَيُزَادُ فِي سَاعَتِهَا كَذَا وَكَذَا. It will be expanded to such and such a distance. He says, why? Why is it spread out like this? It is so that the entire creation can stand upon the earth للحساب, for the reckoning. That, the Qiyamah has taken place. You are here, the earth is ready for, this is where you will stand for the reckoning to take place. He says, حتى لا يكون لأحد من البشر. It will be spread to such a degree, but they put a bit of a limitation over here. So much so that every person will have only موضع قدمه, a place for the place that he's standing on, just that. Meaning you have no place to put your foot to the side because you only have that spot. In other words, think of it as standing shoulder to shoulder in the masjid, but closer even than in janazah salah, where you don't have sufuf, like you literally up against one another. Obviously you're not standing literally like that, but in this opinion over here, he says you only have that spot of your feet because the earth has been spread to such a degree. But you also understand that this is not entirely correct, especially when you look in the context of the hadith, the nafsi hadith. When people will run to Hadrat Adam alayhi salam, and Hadrat Adam alayhi salam would say nafsi, go to someone else, and they will run to Hadrat Musa alayhi salam and run to Hadrat Isa alayhi salam until they come to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, who says ummati. So if there is running here and running there, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam telling the Muslims that if you are looking for me, you'll find me here, you'll find me there, it shows that it will be much bigger than just the spot that you are standing on. But nonetheless, Imam will give interpretations as to how, if we were to accept the various viewpoints, how we would make them all coincide with one another without any contradictions. So it would be saying, for example, موضع قدمه, that a place that you are standing on, you won't move from there. Like in the hadith that you will not move a foot حتى يسأل عن أربعين, عن ماله, وعن عمره فيما أفناه, so on and so forth. Your wealth, how you earned it, how you spent it, your youth, how you used it, things of that sort. So you will say, yeah, sure, in that context, no problem with it. But obviously, the earth will be spread out much bigger than just so small to have all of creation have 1 foot space on it. But nonetheless, he's explaining and also trying to give you an idea of how massive it is, because it is from the first of the creation right up until the last of creation, not just human beings, but jinn as well. Now, if we take it from the time of Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, according to the Christian Gregorian calendar, then it's been 2022 years since Hazrat Isa alayhi salam was raised up to Jannah. And nonetheless, there were many years before that Allah had created the Hazrat Adam alayhi salam and sent him down to earth and all that sort of stuff. And how many more years will it still be before Qiyamah take place? Can be another 2,000 years, can be 200 years, can be 20 years. Allah knows best. But the point being, we have no idea how many more people will still come. At one point, it was like the world is filled with 6 billion people. Now it's like there's 9 billion people, there's 10 billion people, there's 12 billion people. People are forever increasing. So people are being born every day and people are dying every day. And it's going on like this since the time of Hadrat Adam alayhi salam. So try and put that into numbers. It's beyond a number bigger than any human being can even come or comprehend. That's how many people, and that's just the human beings, not even the jinn. And every last one of these must have a place to stand on one single piece of ground in front of Allah Azza wa Jal for the hisab. But he says, وَقَدْ مَضَى فِي سُورَةِ Ibrahim. He says, but previously he mentioned in Surah Ibrahim that يوم تبدل الأرض غير الأرض والسماوات وبرزوا لله الواحد القهار. As is mentioned in Surah Ibrahim, he says, we did the tafsir at that point. We, as in Imam Al-Qurtubi, not us, we didn't do it. We started from Amma Para here. But in any case, so he says that the earth will be exchanged with another earth. And we did this to a degree in our tafsir of in Amma Para as well, but nonetheless, he's saying in detail, he explains at that point over there. So, but that's according to the view of Hadrat Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, and he's not going to repeat it over here because he said it has been done there. Thus, if you wanted to know what he meant by that, you have to go back to Surah Ibrahim. But that being said, we only stopping on that point here tonight. Doing this ayah itself and not going beyond this point. In any case, we'd have to look at which volume specifically that is in, since we are in volume 22 right now at the moment. It's not a one volume kitab. But that being said, yeah, I think we'll stop on this point over here. So the earth will be spread out, and وَأَلْقَتْ مَا فِيهَا وَتَخَلَّتْ, and then وَأَذِنَتْ لِرَبِّهَا وَحُقَّتْ. So we'll do that one next week, inshallah ta'ala. We just basically entered into the tafsir of Surah Al-Inshiqaq. And we'll stop on this point for tonight, inshallah ta'ala. Until next time we end and we say, وَصَلَّى اللَّهُ وَسَلَّمَ وَبَارَكَ عَلَى نَبِيِّنَا مُحَمَّدٍ سُبْحَانَ اللَّهِ وَبِحَمْدِهِ سُبْحَانَكَ اللَّهُمَّ وَبِحَمْدِكَ نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.